kickoff meeting of our project Be Rural Active, originally scheduled for March, but coronavirus pandemic changed our plans. So our meeting is now online. Some technical things. In the top right corner, you can see bottom share content.
Yes,
You can use if you want to share a presentation or some information.
Yes, it's translation, right?
And of course, next to the bottom is camera and microphone. You can switch off or switch on when you wish. And that it's maybe. So I'm going to start with the presentation of our organization. So my name is Jana Kasova. I'm the coordinator of the project, and I'm chairwoman of our athletics club, class Kostenets. Here with us is Svetozar Stoyanov. He's project assistant, and just a second.
Как буде, знаєш, що се записва, да не говорим глупости.
So our club was found 10 years ago, and in December we are going to celebrate our 10th anniversary. Our main priorities of the club are to promote positive attitude towards the practice of sports and healthy way of life for the children of Kostenets municipality, to enable young people to do organized sport and to be trained by well-educated coaches, and of course to empower our members to participate in sporting events at local and national level. We have over 100 members, and we work with children between 4 and 18 years old. And we organize local competition for students and club members, and we organize meetings at national levels with our partners in Bulgaria. Of course, we co-organize competitions with Kostenets municipalities and co-organize again meetings with schools and kindergartens in the town. And our club runs programs coordinated by the Ministry of Youth and Sports with Kostenets municipality and with Bulgarian Athletics Federation. And with the European Union, this project is our first project co-funded by Erasmus Plus Sport and European Union. From our first attempt, we won this co-funded. So we are not very lucky to do our first steps in this project, in this situation, but this is situation. And over the years, we have organized a variety of events focusing the development of sports and physical activity and implementing good practices on local level. And we have experience in organizing ski camps, nature camps with cover sports such as mountaineering or orienteering, scouting activities, skiing, water sports camp, and of course multi-sport camps which organize in our town. Here are some pictures of our camps. And now you can see our bases. This is the stadium in Kostenets. We use for our training school facilities. this is the stadium in village of Kostinets. This is not the town Kostinets. There are town Kostinets and village Kostinets. And here are some pictures of our activities. And this is for our team. So who will be the next? Maybe Joanna?
I can.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you even in this crazy situation that we don't know what we are doing exactly, but somehow we are doing something, maybe. I will show a short video of BSDA that is showing better than me what we are doing. So it's very short one. Hopefully you're seeing it or no? Are you seeing the screen?
Not yet, maybe.
Not yet.
See, my technical abilities are not the best.
You have to open on your computer and to share your screen.
I am, but I don't know why it's not now or not.
Not.
Okay, let's see. I
Do
have
you use
Urush screen. Let's see if it's working this way. Now?
maybe okay?
You're seeing a white screen?
Yes,
Yes.
we
Okay.
white screen.
So the video is starting.
Okay.
Basically, this is what we are doing in the last already 10 years. And we'll be happy to continue doing it in a better times at some moment. So basically, that's what we are into. We are very happy that Jana got the project approved. And we are trying also to empower Bulgarian sports community to be more active in Erasmus+, because it's really important for the sport clubs to be able to use this funding as they are the natural beneficiaries. So we will go with a lot of passion in the project, and we will support everything that we can until the end, whatever the end it is, if it's prolonged by some reasons. That's briefly. I'm not hearing, so maybe.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is okay now. So, Jurga, are you ready to represent your organization?
Hi, everyone. Actually, we're supposed to be the hosts of this meeting, but unfortunately now Microsoft Teams hosts us instead. So quite pity. But still, nice to see you all online, and nice to see already familiar faces like Joanna and Diana we already met, and guys too. Nice to see you. So I will also try to present our organization, and I am not also very familiar with this technical things, but I will try to.
You can do it.
Do you see something like PowerPoint starting?
Yep.
So here is the map of Lithuania for you to see where we are situated. We are in the very north of Lithuania.
I'm not
And
really.
here is the place you can meet us every day. It's the stadium in our town near the lake, so the beautiful place, and I hope you will come and see it by yourself, and also you can use it.
Jurga, just a second. I think that we don't see your presentation, right?
Sorry.
Yes.
Still no?
No yet.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And now?
Yes, we see it.
Okay, so I'll start from the beginning. So here we are. This is the place we are. Oh my God, I did something wrong again. And now is it okay?
No.
No? Again, no.
Yes. No.
So no or yes?
No.
Not yet.
But I'm doing wrong.
Please try again.
And now?
And maybe now it's okay, I think, on my side.
Now it's okay.
Okay. So we work with kids from 9 to 20 years old, and we are quite young club. We are only 6 years old. We started at 2014. And as all clubs, we participate in competitions in Lithuania and abroad, and our kids won medals. So we are like an ordinary sport club. We also provide non-formal education for kids. And also we participate in our traditional annual runs organized by town. Also some projects, activities for kids, for adults. We organize trainings, competitions. And here you will be able to see a short video of our activities. And we also participate in youth exchanges because our students, our sportsmen are very active and they are interested in far more things than just sport or just doing sport. They want to find new friends and to participate in different kinds of activities. And here is short information about our town. It was supposed you should have seen it, but just look at the photos and I hope one day you will visit us and see it all by your eyes. So this is it shortly, and see you in Biržai.
Thank you, Jurga. So, Primož or Uroš, who is next?
Uroš is next.
Uroš, we don't hear you.
Now it's better.
Yeah.
Now it's, yes.
Hello,
We
everyone.
hear.
I hope we will see you soon face to face. First, I must apologize because I have also the problem with the loading promo video, but I will try it. You see?
Not yet.
Not yet. Hello?
No, Uroš, the video it's not on
quiet.
the screen yet.
Whew, I have the problem. Just a second.
maybe it's too large file and the system does not
The
upload.
connection, maybe it's not so good, yeah.
I think it's too large file. I don't know.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Listen, I will just talk and I will send you the promo video, which is really, really beautiful, later on email, or maybe you come in our city, Ajoština, Vipava Valley, which is situated in western Slovenia, near to the border with Italy. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
we
Okay.
can.
I will talk. I must apologize. Our Vipava Valley was in 2030 listed as a lonely planet, best in Europe. 2018 population in the municipality of Ajoština is around 20,000 people. We have strong various industry such as food processing, metalworking, aeroplane industry, you know, pipistrel, medical, wood, textile, and so on. We have really, really good, pleasant climate. The summers are hot and the winter are gentle. The spring comes early, and we have a lot of sunny days. The Vipava Valley is the best known phenomenon is the Burja. This is a strong northeastern wind and can provide more than 200 kilometers per hour, mostly, of course, in the winter. Slovenia, our partner, Slovenia partner, we are the partner of Institute of Sport Ajoština. This is a public institute funded by the community of Ajoština and take care of sport facilities and also sport programs. And here we can find the connections about our project. We were active. We have a lot of sports programs like summer holiday sports. We have in the year maybe 1,000 people, children from 6 to 13 years old. We test various sports such as football, basketball, archery, dance, swimming pool, and so on. The project lasts 6 weeks, 5 days per term. We use local sports associations to help by us with professional staff. Last year, without COVID, we had over 800 children. For us, is the huge and great project, and we think that may be a good platform for the project Be Rural Active. We also organize the city run in our city, Sky Run, and it also covered with young people. In our municipality, I must say that we take good care of the activity in the rural areas as well. We have a lot of sport club and really wide sport offer. With various activities, we bring sport closer to the rural areas, which is main point in our project. Major point are, of course, children, but also we take care of all generations with different sport and activity programs. So I hope we can make a good project, and I'm pretty sure that we are making good stuff. Thank you. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Thank
I
you.
finished.
Thank you. I
No
hope
problem.
that you can visit your cities next year, maybe.
Yeah.
And of course,
Welcome to Slovenia.
yeah, and you welcome in Kostinec. I hope that
Of course.
we can organize next meetings as usual. Now I'm going to continue with the presentation of our project. Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
Cute kid. The whole name of our project is Be Rural Active, multi-sport complex in rural reality to empower physical activity motivation. But Be Rural Active is the short name. The multi-sport complex will involve the young people to do sport and develop different physical abilities for youngsters in the rural areas through sport activities in various sports: athletics, football, swimming, basketball, tennis, non-formal education activities through sport, traditional sports of participating countries, and through this raise physical activity levels and reduce obesity. In the rural reality, there are no opportunities with more sports. Generally, in the small communities, the access to sports is even much more limited, and the project will enrich the opportunities for local people to learn about new sports activities for which there is no organized training and local level. All involved sport organization will be empowered, and their capacity will be developed through training of sport experts, and will be able to use multi-sport context in their daily work during and after the project lifetime, and through this will be able to first develop different physical abilities in local kids and youngsters through sports activities in various sports, and through this raise physical activity levels and reduce obesity. Second, ensure that sport experts in rural area are equipped with innovative approach to use multi-sport context and to be able to train kids in more than one sport, as this way also potential talent of kids in rural area might be spot.
Are you presenting? Because we see, maybe I see only one picture. I don't see the presentation.
Only one. Okay. Just
maybe I have a problem with.
So I'll try again. What did you see? What do you see now? Do you see a page with well, so this is now this is the first slide of the presentation. Do you see it?
Okay.
Everything is okay?
Yes.
Okay. So we ensure the sport experts in rural area are equipped with innovative approach to use multi-sport context and to be able to train kids and more than one sport. This way also potential talents of kids in rural area might be spotted and further developed. And third, transfer the acquired know-how through the partner networks and reach significant amount of rural sport initiatives and might be interested to use the multi-sport complex that will be developed. So participating partner organization on the other side will be able to co-develop the multi-sport context, to test and adapt together the methodology, and to ensure working model that will contribute to the development of the rural areas and to raising levels of organized physical activity there. At the other hand, the development of multi-sport complex in rural reality to empower physical activity motivation manual will be open educational resource that will be disseminated to sport experts in rural areas in European Union. So the project, there are 3 transnational meetings. Our kickoff meeting is online now. The second meeting is educational mobility, our main event, and it is planned to be in Kostenets next summer. It will be 3-day sports camp on multi-sport complex in rural reality, and during the camp, the partners will co-create the methodology and will be trained to use basic elements of various sports in their daily work. The final meeting, I hope, will be in September next year in Slovenia. This will be the final transnational meeting. There will be presented to what extent the project goals are down, the final version of the preparation for the development of the manual, and and we are going to talk about dissemination, and we will be discuss preparation of the final and finance project report. So number of participants for the first and third meeting, you can see for per 2 persons from organization. Some more information for our main event, the educational mobility.
Presentation, it's stuck again in my computer, at least.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes, now it's on educational mobility.
So it's okay now? Educational mobility. Okay, so the educational mobility is a 3 days best practices exchange meeting in Kostenets, which will be multi-sport camp, and there will be 40 members from Bulgaria, 6 members from Slovenia, and 6 members from Lithuania. So we can provide 10 local members, representatives of rural sports organization, federation, and sports clubs, and 30 kids that will be part of the co-creation testing. BSDA have to include 3 members, 2 persons from the project manager, and 1 coach. 6 members from Slovenia, 1 person from the project team, and sports coaches from the rural areas, and again 6 members from Lithuania, 1 person from the project team, and 5 sport coaches from rural area, or total 55 members. And the sports camp will include theoretical and practical sections. During the first and the second day, we are going to have a theoretical part of the issues of why multi-sport training of children in small settlements is needed, causes of obesity in teenagers and ways of reduce this problem, structuring a multi-sport camp, a roundtable for analysis of the day, and afternoon classes are devoted to practical training in various sports.
Sorry, but we see the same slide, education mobility.
Yes, there are 2 educational mobility slides. First with the members, and the second one is with the more information about first and second day and the third day. Can you see the second?
No.
Can you see it now? Is it okay?
I think it's okay. Educational mobility, it's everything, it's written here, first and second day and third day, no? That's
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's visible, no? On my, yes, I don't know the others.
Svetozar, is it okay for you?
Yes, for me it's okay.
Okay. So on the third day of our camp, it will be 1-day multi-sport day with 30 children from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. 1 hour for every sport and plus lunch time. On the third day, we are going to test the multi-sport methodology. So after this educational mobility, each of the project partners will conduct a test event on their local level to test the method. It will be good if if you can organize more than one event at your
Not changing
area.
again, sorry.
Yes, not change the slide. It's the same slide.
So maybe the file is too big.
Maybe.
Sorry.
Yes, now it's changed. Now it's visible.
At the local level.
At local level, it's, yeah.
Maybe I'm faster than the presentation. You can hear me about the local events. If you can organize more than one event at local level, will be great. And now the slide is about the handbook. Can you see it?
Not. We are still at local level. Let me, the handbook not. Yes, now yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the working out of the handbook multi-sport complex in the rural reality to empower physical activity motivation will be prepared on the basis of the methodology adopted during the multi-sport camp in Bulgaria, but also on the subsequent analysis by all coaches and representatives of sport organizations at the event. It will also take into account the partners' experience of the events they organize at the local level. The collected data will be gathered in the handbook, which will be translated into the 3 languages of the partners and in English. The handbook will be accessible to all representatives of small settlements in Europe, and not only as well as to coaches, but for pedagogists in the partner countries of the project. So now we have a slide for promotional materials.
Not yet.
Maybe in some seconds.
Okay.
So promotional materials will be produced and will be translated into the languages used in partner countries. We have to have printed brochures, project posters, project roll-ups, project t-shirts, and we have logo you can see on our on my presentation. We can spend exceptional costs for organization of 3 transnational meetings and to buy equipment for sports events.
Not seeing again. We're still on handbook.
On handbook?
Yeah.
And now?
Exceptional costs.
So this is for exceptional costs. We can spend for equipment for sports events, for example, to buy balls for basketballs or football balls, or hurdles for athletics, and so on. And this is about the project. If you have any questions. Do you want to have a break or to continue with this, to the next topic? What do you think? Do you
Let's go
need
and finish.
Let's go.
Okay.
On.
Yeah, go on. 1 minute. I
One
go
minute
just,
more.
but we can continue. In 1 minute, I'm back.
Okay. So we now have a presentation for dissemination. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Dissemination.
Maybe you must turn on the slideshow.
Maybe like this.
I'm not sure.
Try changing the slides now. Yeah, now it's changing.
Now it's changing. Yeah.
Okay. And now? Changing or not?
No.
No. Okay. We are going.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Maybe.
Go manually with the mouse. Maybe it will be the.
So better, yeah.
Okay, so dissemination will be a continuous process throughout the project's lifetime, with a particular focus on ensuring that the target group is implicated in the project's development from an early stage. Each partner will be responsible for dissemination in its own country and will use different tools for different target groups. The overall goal of the project dissemination strategy is to ensure wide-reaching impact, uptake, and use of project deliverables among identified stakeholders. It will be therefore guaranteed that the project activities and materials are extensively disseminated and promoted within the communities, widely announced via appropriate channels, and fully grasped by the targeted stakeholders. So the project dissemination strategy covers both internal and external communication and dissemination for internal purposes to provide members of the consortium with an effective and efficient blueprint to follow in disseminating the work and the results of the project. Communication will itself be conducted via emails, video conferencing, face-to-face meetings, and so on. External communication will be implemented by a set of tools project website, media communications, targeting printed, electronic, and internet media, dissemination of press releases, social media, participation in different events, and so on. So we have traditional dissemination approaches, and maybe the main approach is project logo. Here is our logo. I like it a lot.
I love it.
So we have events to organization of dissemination events in each partner country in order to publicize the outcomes of the project and the benefits obtained for sports organization through their participation in the project with the relevant target groups and stakeholders and all other interested parties. Of course, we have local and national press and which are press releases, publication of articles on paper and online magazines, and video or audio interviews with young people to be transmitted on the radio or TV. And these tools serve to achieve especially the local public in the participating in countries. So we can use the major newspapers and major TV broadcasters to and can you see the slide? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can
We
you see the
slide number 7?
Okay. So we can use blogs and other social media where participation in the course will be used to reach people already interested or potentially interested in the project topics. And of course, we will have the project website in English and the local languages. The website must be kept up to date, at least the description of the project, the contact details of the beneficiary, short presentation of the partners, mention of the European Union's financial support with the relevant logo, project news, and so on. And of course, we can use the project partners' websites where to be upload periodically information about key project stage milestones and deliverables on their on your websites. And of course, social networks, taking into account the specificity of each social network, the project will create profiles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, where we can share local and national press releases to share photos and videos, to stream online and for visibility of our activities. So any communication or publication related to the project made by the beneficiaries jointly or individually, including at conferences, seminars, or in any information or promotional materials such as brochures, leaflets, posters, presentations, must indicate that the project has received funding from the Union and must display the European Union emblem. So when displayed in association with another logo, the European Union emblem must have appropriate prominence. So you know where to find the logo of European Union. This project has been funded with support from the European Commission. This publication reflects the views only of the author, and the Commission cannot be held responsible for any use which may be made of information contained therein. For other official European Union language versions, you can find on the website of the agency. And the project's publication and results that are distributed must carry the Erasmus Plus logo and mentioned co-funded by the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union. So apart from the requirements regarding project visibility and dissemination, on its results, there is an obligation of minimum publicity for each granted project, where you can find on Erasmus Plus program guide page 260. Beneficiary must clearly acknowledge the European Union's support in all communication or publications in whatever medium, including the internet, or on the occasion of activities for which the grant is used. So we have special conditions from grant agreement, which are update the project summary, provide during the project lifetime information to promote the Erasmus Plus program and dissemination results, including answering questionnaires and entering data into databases. And so use the Erasmus Plus project results platform to disseminate results and deliverables. And to approval of the final report will be subject to uploading results of the project by the time of the submission, so we can approve them or reject them. And of course, penalties. The agency may apply for reduction of grant originally provided, and you can see what will happen if we are not correct. And what agency needs from us: make sure people know about your project, create the buzz and interest, send us your dedicated website, and keep us informed through the project life cycle. And that was about dissemination. And now you have the final presentation. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So our project team include the general project manager, who is carry out the overall coordination of project management activities, monitor the implementation of the activities, coordinate the preparation of the reports, prepare forms for evaluation and implementation of the internal evaluation process. The general project manager will be the link between all working groups, and also be responsible for the time management of the project so that results will be achieved in the timely way. The project managers for each country are in a close cooperation with the general project manager, coordinate activities at the local level, and are engaged in the preparation of the financial statements. Managers are committed to organizing local meetings and sports events, and they are responsible for the monitoring of the progress as regards to the partners' activities, and who, in case of differences, will either initiative corrective action internally or inform and discuss it with the general manager to find the best possible solution. So project assistance for each country will have a commitment to organizational travel issues, a selection of coaches for the sports camp, which is the second transnational meeting, assistance support managers. And we have manual development responsible for the organization for development of the manual multi-sport complex in rural reality to empower physical activity motivation. So my colleague Lilia Angelova will be responsible for the manual. She's coach in the club and also she's PE teacher in Kostenets. Budget control, proper budget control be ensured by the general project manager. He is also be responsible to make any relevant information and documents necessary for budget reporting available to all partners. To this end, the coordinator will appoint a financial manager who will be responsible for budget issues of the project. Similarly, each partner will appoint a person responsible for the monitoring and reporting of budget issues, who will be in close cooperation with the respective partner's project coordinator. Questions on budget issues will be timely addressed to the coordinator, who will answer them based on its own knowledge or often contacted the agency and inform all partners. Any amendments to the grant agreement must be subject to a prior written supplementary agreement. An amendment request should not be made retroactively. A request for amendment can be sent up to 1 or 2 months before the end of the eligibility period. An amendment cannot question the decision to award the grant. An amendment cannot result in unequal treatment of benefits and can be made only in writing. The modification to a grant agreement, grant decision have to be authorized by the same parties who have signed the initial agreement. And you can see when you can do changes without request form, when you change address, legal status, legal name, contact person, legal representative of co-beneficiary. But if you change coordinator, legal representative of coordinator, partnership, eligibility period of the project, budget breakdown, bank account, you have to request form. And now finance, eligibility of costs. They are incurred within the implementation period of the project as specified in the grant agreement. Activities taking place before or after the period specified in the grant agreement are not eligible for funding, with the exception of costs relating to the final reports and audit certificates. They are necessary for the implementation of the action or the work program which is the subject of the grant. All costs must be incurred in connection with the action as described in Annex 1. They are indicated in the estimate overall budget of the action set out in Annex 3. Therefore, when the final grant is determined, the eligible cost base cannot include costs which did not appear in the estimated budget unless an amendment to the initial estimated budget has been signed. Necessary for the execution of the project, these costs must be essential for the performance of the operation in question and will not be incurred if the action do not take place. They are identifiable and verifiable, in particular being recorded in the accounting records of the beneficiary and determined according to the applicable accounting standards of the country where the beneficiary is established and according to the usual cost accounting practices of the beneficiary. So the eligibility of costs, they comply with the requirements of applicable tax and social legislation. The purpose of the provision is to ensure that European Union funding is not provided on costs which would contravene the national law. They are reasonable, justified, and comply with the requirements of sound financial management, in particular regarding economy and efficiency. The concept of correctly matching estimated cost and expected achievements is essential in terms of sound financial management. The beneficiary must be able to justify the resources used to attain the objectives set in line with the objectives of the grant agreement on grant decision. This should be analyzed by putting in the perspective the technical annex and the request for payment. So some examples of ineligible costs. Expense declared under exceptional cost but covered by project management and implementation. Number of participants in meeting higher in financial part compared to the narrative part. Incorrect unit cost with respect to the number of kilometers. Expense not planned in the approved budget, and missing supporting documents. The estimated budget breakdown indicated in Annex 2 may be adjusted without an amendment by transfers of amounts between beneficiaries' budget categories and forms of costs in Annex 2 if the action is implemented as described in the technical annex. Any change has to be communicated to agency immediately. Financial statements must be drafted in euro, so beneficiaries with accounting established in a currency other than the euro must convert the costs recorded in their accounts into euro at the average of the daily exchange rates published on the Commission's website, calculated over the month when the pre-financing payment is executed. Funding rules. The beneficiaries must keep all supporting documents relating to their activities in the project, no matter which beneficiary incurred the costs. The coordinator will collect a complete set of the main supporting documents, being the main contact organization for the agency. The new financing system simplifies the administrative workload of the implementation of the project and also the progress and final reporting phases. Activities which are considered as eligible according to the criteria detailed above will become ineligible if they are not supported by adequate supporting documents. The coordinator shall report on the project activities and results on behalf of the project as a whole, specifying all the elements necessary to appreciate the reality of the generating event. Project management and implementation costs. Project management, small scale learning, teaching, training, materials, tools, approaches. We can spend about these activities. Virtual cooperation and local project activities, also information promotion and dissemination, brochures, leaflets, web information, and so on. 250 euro per organization per month based on the duration of the partnerships. No supporting documents are requested for agency, but only for your internal accounting system in case of audit. But in any case, keep for your records invoices, proof of payments, timesheets for staff costs. For travel, transnational project meetings costs. For travel distance less than 2,000 kilometers, we have 575 euro per participant per meeting. Within this amount, travel subsistence and allowance costs are covered independently from the duration of the meeting. Travel costs supporting documents that must be supplied when requested. Tickets from plane, train, bus, and invoices from hotels, restaurants, travel agency, boarding pass for car journeys, declaration stating the city of departure and arrival, the calculation method with unit rate and number of units, dates and names and activities concerned. Proof that the payments have been made by the beneficiary and are recorded in the accountancy. So reimbursement must be based on the existing internal rules of beneficiary organization and or on the basis of actual cost reimbursement of receipts. Costs may be claimed only for journeys directly connected to specific and clearly identifiable project-related activities. Cost of substances, cost for accommodation, meals, local travel within the place of mission and sundry expenses are eligible up to the actual amount spent. It is thus very important to keep all supporting documents. This may be requested by the agency before making the final payment, but should be kept available in any case for a possible ex post audit. To be considered eligible, this cost must be reasonable, conform to local prices, and be exclusively linked to the project. Supporting documents that must be supplied when requested, hotel bills and other receipts, internal rules defining modalities for the reimbursement of substance cost, and usual practices of the beneficiary. And now exceptional costs, where there are some specifics, and Joanna is well known with them. And I will ask her to speak about exceptional cost and also for staff costs. So Joanna, please.
Hello. So basically, as Jana mentioned, we have several categories of exceptional costs. What is written and what is happening in practice in the last 2 years, it's a bit different. Basically, no one is ever stating officially in the guides that a small collaborative partnerships, such as our case, all the exceptional costs should be invoiced to the coordinator. But in the practice, in the recent times, it's what they're requiring on final report. We have sent an email explicitly to ask if it is or if it's not, and let's see what the project officer will answer. But anyway, the exceptional costs that we have are covered on 80%. And it always has to follow the normal procedure that you have in your countries for providing services. For example, if you need to make any procurement procedure based on your national law, for example, in Bulgaria, up to 10,000 Bulgarian level or 5,000 euro, you're not obliged by law to do it. But if the amount is bigger, you have to do a procurement procedure. So if you have to do it, you have to keep the proofs of the procedure itself. For sure, for the exceptional costs, there is a need of contracts and invoice with the name and the number of the project and proof of payment. Of course, if you are buying one ball, it's not needed to have a contract with Decathlon because no one will give you a contract with Decathlon, but still to have the invoice and the proof of payment, that is very important for the exceptional costs. Another thing that it's really important for the exceptional cost is to never have something that it's covered by the project management and implementation budget in the exceptional cost. For example, printing of brochures, they're approving it on the project approval stage, but after that on final reporting, they're not accepting these costs as exceptional, as they're saying that they should be part of the project management and implementation. So if you have any doubt, you can always go back to the slide that Jana presented about project management and implementation costs, and be sure that the exceptional costs that you're reporting are not part of these costs. Can we go changing the slide?
Okay.
So basically, if you have an invoice that is for 100 euro in the exceptional costs field, you get reimbursed 80 euro from them. So 20% is the beneficiary co-funding in each exceptional cost. As we said, we have a budget for sport equipment, sport delivery, like rent of the sport facility, like security, like sound system and announcer, everything that it's not part of the normal project management and it's connected to the sport event itself is part of the exceptional costs. As we see, whole sport equipment, even referees can be if you're paying. We'll go a bit later on the staff costs, but everything that you need for the sport event except illuminational materials can go in this exceptional costs field. Next slide, so we can go to the staff costs. So in any case, in the exceptional costs, we cannot report staff costs. So if you have any staff costs that, for example, you're hiring referees or some technical persons to deliver your sport event, to be in the exceptional costs budget, it has to be with invoice. So it's not possible to be with a contract to the person that is delivering the service. So consider always that if you have staff costs in the exceptional costs, they have to go through invoice. A part of it, in the small collaborative partnerships, you can pay also salaries or you can pay to the persons that are managing the project. And this is going to the project manager. 250 euro per month per organization. Anyway, they're not requesting any documents, but still we have to keep for our accounting and for future audits that might happen up to 5 years after the project, all the needed by the European Commission documents for staff costs. This means that always you have to have a contract, again, based on your national legislation. Either it's a labor contract, project-based contract, or whatever official contract that you have in your legislation is acceptable. And it should be always accompanied by several documents that you're normally doing anyway. So the contract, can we change the slide? As we said, it can be temporary or permanent staff of the organization. And it can be any person that, based on your national legislation, is allowed to work officially on the way that you're doing. So it can be either full-time member of the organization, as we said, or non-permanent staff recruited for the project. There is different categories that the European Commission has provided in the information, but it's because it's very wide and Europe has a lot of legislation. So you always follow your national one when it's connected with staff costs. Can we go to the next one? Always has to be realistic. For example, if your employee is having its normal monthly staff costs like 500 euros, it's not possible that under the project it's taking like 10,000 euro per month. So it also always has to be balanced to the regular payment or to the regular way of calculating the salaries in your organization or in your country. So be sure that you have a balance and you have a calculation how this amount is calculated to be paid to the persons. And also it's very important that it's connected with the actual time. For example, you cannot work 24 hours per day or 12 hours per day. So it has to be balanced again with the national legislation. Can we go to the next one? So what we need to prove are supporting documents for the persons involved in project management, again, in the project management and implementation budget. Always a contract, or, for example, some other documents that your legislation might have, but normally it's a contract, either labor, as we said, or a temporary one. It should be always accompanied by timesheets. The Commission is saying or any relevant document, but the most secure way is to use, we will see them in a few slides, the timesheets of the European Commission. The timesheet means that the hours and the days and the work is reported and accounted documentally correctly by the European Commission. Of course, we have to provide proof of payment, as always. So it's always recommendable the payments to go by bank. So it's very easy to prove the payment. And sometimes it's needed to be presented the payrolls or whatever different kind of accounting you have for the salary payments, depending again from your national legislation. It has to be followed again the usual policy of remuneration, what it's meaning that we cannot, as we said, pay a lot of money if this is not the normal money that the people are receiving in their countries. And we go in the next one. Here we have some examples. As we said, the internal policy, how the salaries are calculated, timesheets, very, very, very important. Employment contract, official payroll, or something that you use in your countries to prove what are the salaries, and proof of payment that is really, really important always. On the next slide, we will see the timesheets or the template that the European Commission use. As we said, they're free to accept other one, but it's better to use their own that are very clear. This is the yearly timesheet that is filled person by person and is accompanied by a monthly timesheet that are going into the details on this day, how many hours do the person work, what exactly did he or she done, and what is the total amount of monthly days. That is always connected with this one, that is the year timesheet. Next slide. Again, they're very strict with the timesheets because during the years it was a lot of misuse of the staff costs. So one of the most important things to consider if you are working in more than one project is to not overlap days. I have worked on Bureau Active project today on 17th of October, 8 hours. It's not possible that you have worked on another project 8 hours because it's like not possible. So always consider to have a very strict timesheets management because the Commission is really checking in details in order to avoid overlaps. And that's why they're in a case of audit, not in a case of reporting, but they're always requiring the timesheets and always checking if there is an overlap with the other projects that the organization is delivering. It can be also paid by invoices if your national legislation is allowing this. For example, a physical person or an individual to be able to be paid for its labor by invoice. It's also possible. And then we need the invoice, the proof of payment, and the timesheets again duly filled and signed. Any questions?
No.
Good.
Okay. Thank you, Joanna. Where are we? So we are going to finish now. Before your questions, I have some remarks here. I am going to share Dropbox folders with you, where please put everything about the project, any photos from activities, invoices, everything. And I'll do this in the next days. So amendments, our project terms was extended with 6 months, so it will finish on 31st of 2021. Sorry, at the end of December next year. So But unfortunately, for this 6 months more, we don't have money for management. And about meeting in Kostenets next summer, I think that it's too early to fix the dates, but for me, June is the best time to do this mobility. But maybe in January or February we are going to talk about the fixing the date. And this is from me. If you have any questions, please ask. If everything is clear, maybe I have to thank you about your that you be here in this holiday, and really I hope that we will see face to face soon.
Hopefully.
And be safe and have a perfect weekend.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for presentation.
Thank you.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day.